And the third principle is rational people think at a margin. Rational people think at a margin. So, needless to explain who is a rational human being is. Are you all rational beings? Yes? Are you all rational people? Yes or no? Do say something. Yes. Isn't it? Why did you say you are rational people? Yes? What do you mean by rationality? At least you got to know what exactly is who is said to be a rational human being is. Isn't it? Okay. So, the one who would apply the logic and thought process. Isn't it? So, rational people think at margin. And you know who is a rational human being is. And what do you mean by margin? Margin matlab extra. Okay. So what does it mean? My friends, keep it in mind before I proceed further. In economics, everything could be explained in three different ways. One is through mere intuition. Okay, what we are discussing in the last class and today. Mere intuition has been logic, applying your thought process. We can decide, okay, we can come to a conclusion. Hey, look, this is how things work. People face trade-off. I didn't prove it mathematically, but you accepted it because your mere intuition says, yes, it's in fact true. If I had been sleeping in the class, sleeping in the hostel, I would not be attending the class. You accepted it, isn't it? So that mere sense of thought is what we call as an intuition. By that logical mindset, if you just draw some conclusion, okay, that is what's said to be intuition. The second way of explaining any economic concept is through graphs. Okay, last class I explained a production possibility frontier. Okay, isn't it? If you have enough labor, some amount of labor, you can employ this labor in producing guns or producing grains. But every extra gun you produce, you need to forego some amount of grains. That's how I have explained you using a graph. And that is technically what is said to be called as a production possibility frontier. You don't need to worry about it. It's a part of microeconomics. Production possibility frontier. It has been the locus of points. Okay, the locus of, I have simply connected all the locus of, it's a locus of all the points. The possible production, okay, quantities, isn't it? So using a given amount of labor, that particular locus is what I call as a production possibility frontier. And I said the slope of the curve, isn't it? More or less gives you the opportunity cost. So for every extra gun, how many grains you forego. Get what I'm saying? So it could be explained using graphs. The third is it could also be explained using mathematics. Okay, so since this class is not an optional class, we don't go through into mathematics. But most of the time I will be using, so most of the time we will be using our intuition. And sometimes wherever it is necessary, if I believe that explaining through graphs would really serve the purpose better, and I keep using graphs. And my graph is always two direction because on board you cannot come with a three direction, isn't it? So in fact economics may everything could be explained using two, okay, bivariable graph itself, x, y, bus. You get it, my friends? And iske alawa I am not going to use anything, so don't feel it complex. And if you have any problem at any point of time, you get it, my friends, during my part of discussion, any one of you have any problem and you don't understand the logic, you don't get the logic, and you don't believe in it, you have another side of opinion, you are free to interrupt me any point after. Raise your hand, and there is nothing called good doubt, bad doubt, small doubt, okay, X, Y, Z, nothing as such nonsense. Doubt is a doubt, that's it. And you don't worry about what other people think about your doubt. And someone is laughing at your doubt, then it's his problem. It's his problem, that's it. Okay, so feel comfortable. Let this class be a mere class of discussion, debate. It's not like I simply dictate something and you simply say, I have no alternative, let me take the notes and simply by heart it. No, that's not how things work. You are all rational human beings. And unless you are convinced with what I discuss in the class, please don't leave the class. Get what I'm saying? Okay, so now let's look at the third basic principle. Rational people think at margin. Margin matlab extra. Let's say when we sit at the dining table, we don't choose between two different options, an extreme option. Either I should eat like a pig or I should go to bed hungry. This is not the kind of options we take, isn't it? So sitting at the dining table, you don't think I should eat like a pig or I should go to bed hungry. Get it, my friends? So that's not the two extreme options we just adopt, isn't it? Let's say you attend a party and many of you would be, most of us like dessert, isn't it? I hope everyone in the class likes a dessert, isn't it? And some of you would also like drinks. How many of you take drinks? Soft drinks. Yeah, isn't it? So mocktails, not cocktails, at least, isn't it, friends? So some of us like drinks. And some of us, some of you people like something else, isn't it? So look at my friends, if you attend a party, you get it, my friends? So let's say this guy likes a dessert. Just because he likes a dessert, he doesn't start the party with a dessert and finish the party with a dessert. Get it what I'm saying? Just because he likes biryani, he doesn't start the party with biryani, ends up with biryani. Get it what I'm saying? So most of you might be, most of you might be hardcore fans of bawarchi biryani. That doesn't mean 3 times in a day, lunch, breakfast, lunch, dinner, you only have bawarchi biryani or KFC bucket. Get it, my friends? Why? Just because I like it, I don't have it 3 times in a day. Of course, you have the spending capacity. Your papa is rich and he can simply afford to spend all the money. But in reality, we don't simply end up buying what we like 3 times in a day. Get it, my friends? What explains this typical behavior is simple. We are all rational people. We think at a margin. Let me explain you how, this principle could explain. See, yesterday I have suggested you a book. And most of you by this time might have purchased. And most of you very enthusiastically might have opened the book also. As soon as you purchase the book, you might have taken to your PC and have opened the book. The very first page, you are highly enthusiastic. What's there in this book? Let me read Uma Kapila. Let me complete this Uma Kapila by tomorrow. That's the kind of enthusiasm you had when you purchased the book and when you opened the book. 3 pages later, you thought, it's better let me watch some YouTube video. Isn't it? Or some might have shifted to polity. Some might have shifted to geography. And when you shift to geography, you don't stick on with geography forever, isn't it? At some point of time, you think, no, it's too boring. Isn't it? When you open the geography textbook, initially it's highly interesting, but after some point of time, you think, no, I cannot spend more amount of time with this geography book. Let me shift to history. And then you stick on with history for some time, and then you would be doing something else. What explains this typical behavior? Simple, rational people think at a margin. Extra. So extra does mean the extra amount of satisfaction you derive for every 1 extra minute spent on reading geography would keep decreasing. Isn't it? When it keeps decreasing, in order to maximize your satisfaction, by default, you end up shifting, you end up opting to read some other textbook. The reason why don't you stick on with the same book is simple. The first minute, the satisfaction you derive at the first 1 hour reading polity gives you a very high level of satisfaction. But it's not going to be the same level of satisfaction that you derive when you go through the second, the same book, the second hour. Get it, my friends? If I ask you people, how much money would you like to pay to watch Bahubali 2 for the first time? Before you're not aware of the fact why Katappa killed Bahubali, how much money would you like to pay for it? For the very first show, if that happens to be your very first show, how much money would you like to pay for it? To watch Bahubali 2, because you're not aware of the fact why Katappa killed Bahubali. And every Indian is very enthusiastic to understand why Katappa killed Bahubali. And in the very first time, most of you people sitting in the class are willing to pay up to $1,000 for the very first show, isn't it? But imagine once you watch the show and you got to know why Katappa killed Bahubali. And I am asking you, would you like to pay the same $1,000 to watch the same movie next time? Why is it so? Same hero, same heroine, isn't it? Tamanna, same, sab kuch same hai. Same director, isn't it? And same length, nothing changes. You watched the 11 o'clock show And I am asking you, would you like to pay the same $1,000 to watch the 2 o'clock show? Would you like to pay the same $1,000? Why? Same movie, na? 3 hours back, you are ready to pay $1,000. 3 hours down the line, once you watch the movie, why don't you think it's worthy paying 1,000 rupees? Because? Why is it so? Because simple, the second time you watch the movie, you don't derive the same satisfaction. Isn't first time when I watched the movie, I don't know why Kattappa killed Bahubali, and once the secret has been revealed, and second time watching the movie, there is no surprising element in it. That's the basic reason when we watch any such kind of movies, isn't it? It is suspense thrillers. And if some friend who watched the movie and ends up simply revealing the suspense, what do? Okay, ek tappad marke, we'll just switch off the TV and simply get out. The reason is simple, it's a suspense thriller, and that is what you need to experience. But someone revealed, "Arey bhai, wo to mar gayi." Okay, so and you are eagerly waiting to what would be the conclusion of the thriller, and someone has revealed it. Isn't it? The same is the case. If someone simply says, okay, why Kattappa killed Bahubali before the movie has been launched, Bahubali 2 would not be getting such a huge amount of collections. Get what I'm saying? Okay, like Abhito, what's happening in Big Boss? Who is going to be out in the next week is being revealed by the media people, okay, 3 to 4 days before it. That's the basic reason the ratings for Big Boss has drastically come down compared to the previous Big Boss. The reason is simple. There is no surprising element. Who is going to be eliminated this week? How many of you are watching Big Boss for that matter? Very good. That's fantastic. Isn't it? If it is really true, if you're not really watching it, okay, that's really good. Okay, even I don't watch it, but I just get to know the information because people around me, okay, most of the time in the office only discuss about. Okay, as though, in fact, the surprising element is Kashmir has been, okay, you get it, my friends, divided into 2 union territories, but that's not the case of discussion. Jafar has been eliminated, that happens to be the discussion. You get it, my friends? So that's the situation as of now. Getting what I'm saying? So the reason is simple. Why you don't get an enthusiasm or why you don't spend the same amount of money watching the movie is simple. The satisfaction you derive by watching the movie the next time would be drastically coming down. Hence, you don't pay. And that's what explains one of the major paradox in economics, what we call diamond water paradox. Diamond water paradox. See, when I say what is a diamond water paradox, let's say if I take the satisfaction levels on y-axis and the quantity on x-axis. Let's say, my dear friends, okay, water is very much essential for life, but that's not the case with the diamond, isn't it? So its usefulness when it comes to your day-to-day living is very high. Okay, so it has a very high value in usage. In terms of usage, it has a very high value in usage. And this has a very high value in exchange. So if you could exchange this diamond for something else, you get large basket of goods and services. So in terms of exchange, diamond has a more value. But in terms of usage, water is worthy more compared to diamond. I can live my life happily without having a diamond. Getting what I'm saying? Following? But that's not the case when it comes to water. So water is of very much essential for life, and water has very high value in terms of usage. But whereas diamond has a high value not in terms of usage, in terms of exchange. I can exchange to get large quantity of goods and services. But getting what I'm saying? But if I exchange this glass of water, isn't it? What do you think I will be getting for this glass of water? How much money would you like to pay for this glass of water, my friends? How much? How much would you like to? 5 rupees. Very good. Very generous person. Isn't it? You get it, my friends? So this particular, okay, it is very much essential, and this has a very less value in exchange. But if it is glass full of diamonds, is it 5 rupees? Isn't it? I would not be coming to class. There's no reason to if I have a glass full of diamonds. Getting what I'm saying? So diamond has a more value in terms of exchange. But ironically, if you look at how people behave when it comes to processing water and diamond. Let's say on a midsummer day, you're highly thirsty and completely dehydrated. Okay, so walking on the streets of Chennai. You get it, my friends? So then you can imagine how horrible it is that in summer. You've been completely dehydrated and you are feeling highly thirsty, isn't it? And that's the point of time you came across me. Okay. You get it, my friend? That's the point of time you came across me and simply I offered you one glass of water. One glass of water. And imagine you are so dehydrated that without this glass of water, you are almost about to die. So I offered you one glass of water. In such case, the satisfaction levels you derive by having this one glass of water would be immensely high because that saved your life. Get what I'm saying? So I could plot this particular satisfaction levels, let's say at this point. So very high for the first glass of water. And looking at that particular thankfulness, gratitude, okay, so immediately you end up saying, sir, thank you, sir, very much. You're really a God. You saved my life by simply serving me this glass of water. I'm very much thankful to you. I owe this life to you because you are the one who served me this glass of water. Get what I'm saying? So looking at the gratitude, okay, the thankfulness you expressed. Imagine I offered you one more glass of water. I offered you one more glass of water. Would you derive the same satisfaction levels? No, that would be coming down to this point. You know? So third glass of water, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Isn't it? So the satisfaction levels somewhere after seventh glass of water would tend to become negative. Isn't it? First glass of water you call me God. When I offered you seventh glass of water, you would be telling me, "Arey pagal hai kya? Kitna pani piyenge bhai?" Isn't it? Of course I am thirsty. But 1-2 glasses is more than enough. Just because I express some thankfulness and some gratitude, you keep on simply using the entire tanker ka water, isn't it? So then you end up simply saying seventh glass of water. See, are you mad? How much water you expect me to take? Get what I'm saying? So it does mean every extra glass of water I offer to you, and every extra glass of water you take would lead to fall in your satisfaction levels. Get what I'm saying? But just replace this glass of water with a diamond ring to your girlfriend on 14th February. So 14th February, first diamond ring. Let's say this is the satisfaction levels. Second diamond ring. You get it, my friends? So what do you think? Do the satisfaction levels would be compared to the way it is been to water? No. What happens? So if it is this is for water, okay, for diamonds, this would be the case. Isn't it? At least in the worst case, it would be constant. At least it would be constant. Get it, my friends? You don't simply find a girlfriend who would be saying after sixth class, okay, diamond ring. No, I don't need. Enough. If you really find such girlfriend, get married. Get it, my friend? Who says no for a second diamond ring? Get it, my friend? So it saves your money. But that's not the case in reality. People are willing to take more and more and more diamonds. So water very much essential for usage. People don't accept too much. But diamond, which is not more value in terms of usage, okay, but still it has more value in terms of exchange. Okay, people prefer it more and more diamonds. So what explains this typical paradox is simple. Racial people think at margin. So the extra amount of satisfaction I derive, okay, by having an extra diamond keeps on increasing. Henceforth, when it comes to water, which keeps on decreasing, wherein the satisfaction levels, henceforth people tend to prefer more of diamonds than less of compared to water. Get what I'm saying? The same is the logic that explains. If you have certain amount tomorrow, if you happen to be the finance secretary and who is formulating the budget, you do the same thing, isn't it? So for every extra 1 penny, I allocate to agriculture ministry. I have to forego the same amount of allocation to my defense ministry. Getting what I'm saying? So ideally, my friends, we are in a position. Frankly, if there is going to be a third world war, that's going to be last world war. Because every damn, even North Korea had a nuclear weapon. North Korea have no food, but North Korea also has a nuclear weapon. Every damn country is a nuclear country. In fact, yesterday you might also have seen Imran Khan also tweeted. Okay, 2 nuclear countries like India and Pakistan should not have any, has to, settle everything through dialogue. Why the hell he should bring in something called 2 nuclear countries? He can say 2 independent countries, 2 sovereign nations, but why did he rise 2 nuclear? Because he is simply trying to tell the people, though I don't have bread to feed my people, I have a nuclear weapon. Isn't it? So every damn country is a nuclear country as of now. So that's the basic reason. In reality, neither India wages a war against China, nor India is going to wage a war against Pakistan, nor Pakistan is going to do the same thing. The reason is simple. If there is going to be war, that's going to really devastating, it would have a devastating effect. So that's the basic reason. Ideally, we don't have any reason to wage a war against China, and China also does the same. Even North Korea and South Korea, you get me, my friends. If South Korea happens to be so rich country, if really South Korea wants to wage a war and simply capturing North Korea could be done in a fraction of a second. That's it. But why people don't just go for a war in these modern days? Simple. If there is going to be a war, that's going to be a lost war. Following? So it does mean that, okay, if you happen to be the one who is simply formulating a budget, since we are not going to wage war against Pakistan or China or Bangladesh, does it mean that, do you think you don't need to allocate any extra penny to defense? You don't need to maintain your defense personnel? Yes or no? No. In fact, if you look at the this year's budget, the highest allocation for the defense after independence happens to be in this year. The government of India has allocated large sums of money for the defense ministry this year after independence. The highest allocation happens to be. In reality, you are not going to wage a war, but why the hell you allocate so much amount of money to the defense ministry? You get what I'm saying? So it's simple. Okay, it acts as a deterrent. It acts as a deterrent. Hey, look, don't poke fun at me, and don't interfere in my business. I have something strong with me. Get what I'm saying? So that doesn't mean that we are going to spend all money on defense. We are going to spend all money on agriculture. Everyone in this country is aware of the fact that agriculture sector is under distress. Then we have made a budget for 20 lakh crores. Then why didn't government have spent all the money on agriculture simply to resolve all the basic problems in agriculture? Simple, that's the case. Every extra penny I spend on agriculture would come with a reduced allocation on my defense and my education and rest of other sectors. So how do people end up judging this is enough compared to what is required for defense? Simple, they think at margin. For every extra penny I allocate on agriculture, what is the benefits I derive? What are the benefits I derive? And what is that I am losing at a defense? So how do people end up saying this X person goes for defense, this X person, Y person goes for agriculture, and some Z person goes for something else? It's simple. Rational people think at a margin. It explains why the class has to be only 2.5 hours. So by somewhere around 9 o'clock, many of you keep watching your, looking at your watches. The reason why, 6:30, 6:40 when the class begins, you are highly enthusiastic, highly energetic. Isn't it? But your glucose levels keeps coming down. Isn't it? By 8:30, isn't it? 6:30 you are simply at the age of 20. But 8:30 you come to the age of 60. Isn't it? By 9 o'clock you are almost something like, sir, breakfast. Isn't it? The sugar levels have dropped too high, too low. Isn't it? So the reason is simple. What explains this behavior is simple. Rational people think at margin. The first 1 hour of class, highly interesting. You are highly enthusiastic, highly participative. But if I simply proceed this class for 4-5 hours, the same kind of participation, I won't expect it. The reason is simple. You are rational people and you think at margin, and the satisfaction levels you derive by sitting in my class for every extra 1 minute keeps on decreasing. At some point of time, I need to break the class. Isn't it? In fact, that's not only applies to you, even for me. The very first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, I'll be highly energetic, but my energy levels keeps coming down, or my satisfaction levels. Keep in mind, my profession is not teaching. I just teach because of love on economics, that's it. Not love on upon you people or the institute, it's simply I love economics, that's my first love. Getting what I'm saying? And that's the basic reason. But the reason why I don't teach economics for all, in all different reasons, simple. This is my hobby, and this is how I enjoy. Isn't it? But if I spend all my time only giving economics, so maybe I would be losing interest, repeating the same thing. That's the basic reason I don't take class for not more than 5 batches in the entire year. That's it. Get what I'm saying? So the reason is simple. The extra satisfaction I derive by simply repeating the same lecture keeps coming down. For the 6th batch, I would not be so interesting. I would not be having so much motivation levels. So I would be really hurting the interest of that particular 6th batch. So I really end up simply saying, no, I cannot. It doesn't matter to me how much you pay, because I would not be getting the same satisfaction when I repeat the same lecture for the 6th batch. So because I lose interest, the people would be losing, and henceforth I really think I don't do justice for the money I take. So henceforth I say no for people. Get what I'm saying? So that's how every person do the same thing. Isn't it? First peg, very high satisfaction. Second peg, third extra. Third, Isn't it? Fourth and fifth peg, you really don't know what is happening. You get it, my friends? The reason is simple. The same satisfaction levels you keep enjoying will keep coming down. Get what I'm saying? So that's what I mean to say. Rational people think at a margin. Clear? And the fourth